Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing? It's been a long time since I have sat out here late at night and filmed a video for the next day. So you are watching this on Wednesday, and I am on Cousin Fun Day with my cousin Caroline, which is where we run around and run errands and have brunch and things like that. So it is late Tuesday evening, and I just got up from a little bit of a nap a little while ago. A nap for me is like 9 o'clock at night to like 11:30, something like that. Then I get up and I watch some TV shows. The last couple nights, actually, I've gone to bed very, very early and gotten up very, very early. But I don't think that's going to be the case tonight. Tonight, I am in it to win it. I am going to finish 1,000 Pound Sisters. I'm getting ready to watch Below Deck Mediterranean and catch up on Welcome to Plathville. I think this week might have been, I think tonight might have been the season finale of Welcome to Plathville. So anyway, I was making my list of videos that I'm going to film for tomorrow, knowing that I'm going to be gone most of the afternoon. So I was like, I don't know how many videos I'm going to be able to film. And I was trying to figure out what I was going to do on my channels and things like that. I make a list every night before I go to bed. It's something I've done for a very long time, is like make a list for my next day and things like that. Some days I stick to it and other days I don't. But I was making a list and I wasn't really sure what I was going to make a video about on this channel. And so I came out here and was having a cup of coffee. I have this advent calendar that's K-cups of coffee, and so I've been trying to keep up with it and every day drink the cup of coffee for that day. And so I was catching up with vanilla bean brulee was the coffee. I think it was for yesterday. So I was catching up on that, and I was doing my prayers and my meditations and reading my nighttime meditation. And so that's something that I do every night. I do in recovery what we call is a 10-step inventory, and it's kind of just evaluating your day and taking a look at, you know, your day and what happened throughout the day and things you can improve on and, you know, things you learned and, you know, things like that. And there's a bunch of questions you ask yourself and things like that, right? And so I was doing that and just getting kind of centered and peaceful for the night ahead of watching hours on end of reality TV, and I was getting really excited about that, you know? And so I started reading through some of the comments on my video from earlier today, which I just want to say this. One of the things that like drives me crazy when I read comment sections of other people's videos is when you see like one person and they leave 4 or 5, like, and you've never seen them comment, like, you know, on that channel before, and they leave like 4 or 5 enormous comments, and then they literally are responding to everybody that has a different opinion than them, and it's like they've done it like 20, they're like spamming the comment section, right, with their difference of opinions, and it very rarely happens on my channel, but every once in a while it happens. And there was somebody on my Jaclyn Hill video that just, I mean, I was like, Jaclyn, would the real Jaclyn Hill please stand up? For real, I thought it was Jaclyn Hill. I was like, is she in my comment sections? Because like literally anybody that has an opposing opinion to her, she is like responding to. It was like every time I hit reply, it was this gal, right? So finally I just was like, you know what? Like I'm all for people having their opinion until you are literally spamming my comment section. And so I just ended up blocking her. So I just want to make that very, very clear. That is an opinion that has changed over here, okay? Is that I'm going to start blocking people that are going to just spam my comment section. So, you know, if you want to leave your opinion and whatever, and you want to leave it once, I mean, she left like, I think 2 or 3 very long comments, and then literally every time I would hit reply, she would say something in opposition to somebody. It was constant, right? And to the point where other people were getting annoyed by it too, because I could read the responses, and other people were saying like, you're literally in every comment section saying this, right? And I just was like, this is annoying, okay? Like, we get it. We understand that you are a true lover of Jaclyn Hill, and that's great. Go comment on her videos. Oh, she doesn't post videos very often, so you have to come to other people's videos to post your love for Jaclyn Hill. Well, she ain't looking at the comment sections of my videos. Or is it you, Jaclyn, commenting on my videos? I don't know. But I'm not going to have that on my channel. I'm not going to have people just like spamming like crazy my comment sections, okay? Leave a comment, leave 2 if you want to, respond to a few people, that's fine, right? But when you're literally leaving between 20 and 30 comments, okay? I mean, within the span of like an hour, like that's like, that's too much, okay? Like, I'm trying to help you, okay? Like, I'm trying to help you here, and like, it's too much for you, okay? You can't handle it, and so I need to help you out the door, right? So it's like, you know, when you have somebody that comes over to your house and they've drank way too much coffee, and it's like, you know, 1:30 in the morning, they're like, are we playing another game of Monopoly? It's like, okay, I need to go to bed. It's time for you to go home now, okay? It's like, maybe you've had a little bit too much coffee, and they're like, no, just one more cup of coffee. You're like, okay, it's time for you to go, okay? My husband's long asleep. We're not playing no more games of Monopoly, okay? We're not playing euchre no more. It's time for you to go to bed, okay? Knock on that. So anyway, I'm gonna help you out, okay? You're a little, like, you're having too much over here, okay? So that's the first thing I want to say. The second thing is, I've said this in previous videos, and people got it real quick. So I just want to make this very, very clear. This is a decision that I made a while ago, but I'm serious about it, and I am going to follow up with it. On YouTube, you are not allowed to take clips of people's videos and not react to them, okay? Which means, if you want to, like, watch one of my videos and sit there and watch it and respond to it while you're watching it, you have, like, every right to do that, right? You can react to a video, you can take clips of videos and react to it and things like that. What you cannot do, okay, is just upload a piece of somebody's video or their video as your own and retitle it something else. You cannot do that, okay? It's literally stealing my content. So, I'm just gonna tell you right now, if you're somebody out there that's doing that, I'm gonna strike your channel. So, 3 strikes, you're out, and your channel will be removed, and it will affect you from having any other channels on YouTube, any ability to comment on anybody else's channel and things like that. I'm just being real fair and real honest ahead of time, okay? I just want you to know that. So, you know, there's fair use, which is where you're allowed to respond and react to comments, and then there's not fair use, which is literally taking somebody else's content and uploading it and re-uploading it as your own. You cannot do that, okay? And so, unless you're going to just put up there that this is like a re-upload or whatever, but that's not what you're doing, and there's a couple people out there that are doing that, and I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm going to strike those channels. I've said that in the past, so I just want to make that very, very clear. You know, so this is what happens. I was reading through the comment sections, and I started getting comments, just a few, it wasn't a lot, I'm going to have a little Diet Coke, about Colleen Ballinger's vlog, and her saying, the Swifties were very upset. I have to tell you, I got more DMs than I got comments about it. The Swifties were very upset because she did a video, and the video is called something like Taylor Swift Copied Me or something like that. Hold on a second, I have it right up here. The video is called Taylor Swift Copied Me, and it's from 6 hours ago. It's sitting at 32,000 views. Colleen Ballinger's views are not good at all on any of her videos. So I started getting these comments, and people were like, you know, Colleen Ballinger is trying to get the Swifties to watch her videos because she did this title of this Colleen Ballinger, you know, blah, 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 whatever. And I was like, what are they talking about? Like, surely she didn't get in, don't call me Shirley. Surely she didn't get in a video and outright say that Taylor Swift copied her. Like, it has to be a joke. Like, she has to be joking, right? And then I started getting all these DMs. Like, I went on Twitter and I looked, and I had like several DMs from people that were very upset about it. You know, there's like some people out there that you just don't touch and talk about, like Beyonce and Taylor Swift. Just don't talk about them, okay? And so, like, you don't say that they copied your idea over friendship bracelets, okay, Colleen? You should have learned that a long time ago. So I'm watching all this. Now, I haven't watched the videos yet, right? Like, I had said in a previous video that I wasn't going to watch, because I know when I say this, people are going to be like, well, you said you weren't going to watch Colleen Ballinger's. No, what I said was, I wasn't going to watch Colleen Ballinger's videos anymore unless people sent something to me, and I felt the need that I had to watch it to cover for the video. So I skimmed through 2 of her videos for this video tonight, because I wanted to make sure that I knew what I was talking about. So I start getting all these comments from people, or direct messages from people, and they're very upset. They're very, very upset. In fact, hold on just a second. I reached out to one person to see if they would let me read their... Oh, they did respond to me. I asked them, I said, do you mind if I read the first part of your message in a video? And they said, you can read anything you would like And I am 60, and I had a friendship bracelet when I was 3 years old, exchanged it with my cousin. Taylor did not copy her. Well, she is joking in the video. But this person in here said, please help. Colleen B has gone too far. She has made a video on our beloved Taylor Swift saying Taylor copied her in the friendship bracelet. She is using Taylor for views. I am a mother and a grandmother of a Swiftie, and am also a Swiftie. So she goes on to say some other things. Now, okay, when you watch the vlog, so the vlog is called Taylor Swift Copied Me, okay? There's a part in there, and I'm going to get to the whole video in just a second, because I think the whole video is problematic, but there's a part in there, and there's some picture floating around about her, like, I haven't seen the picture, or I've seen, like, glimpses of the picture, like, when I was, like, scrolling by and stuff like that, but it's, like, her bending down or something, and people are saying she's still problematic. I don't know about that, so send me that picture, and I'll do a video on that picture. I don't know anything about that picture. But like, to be honest with you, like, I haven't been keeping that close of tabs on Colleen Ballinger lately, because it's a lot. It's a lot, and I feel like her plan all along was to return. And so, you know, I just looked at her social blade. She's lost 40,000 subscribers in the last month. So this return, people are saying, like, she's won, she's come back, and things like that. Well, she has and she hasn't, okay? Like, she's lost 40,000 subscribers off that Colleen Vlogs channel in a month, all right? I think the channel has like 3.8 million subscribers. It has 3.2 million subscribers. She's lost 40,000 subscribers in the last month. Taylor Swift Copied Me 6 hours ago is at 32,000 views. The last Miranda shows is from a day ago, is at 118,000 views. I finally finished my Rocks and Crystals is from 2 days ago at 81,000 views. My Kids Think I'm Zendaya, 98,000 views from 3 days ago. Another Taylor Swift video, Taylor Swift Advent, and her child's stand-up comedy 4 days ago, where she has her son in the thumbnail of her video. I'm Scared, Is This Poisonous, from 5 days ago. These are 103, 109,000 views. What Happened on Halloween, 125,000 views. Surprising the Twins and Finding Crystals, her kids again in the thumbnail. She's got all of her kids are in her thumbnails again. Well, I went and I looked back at her videos from months ago. So, for example, the fall vlog, which was her return video 2 weeks ago, 1.2 million views. Her high video, which is like one of her highest viewed videos ever, okay, which was the ukulele video, is sitting at 16 million views. Prior to that, My Big Audition, I'm So Nervous, was her last vlog before everything happened, and that was at 615,000 views. The one before that was Which Twin Loves Me More, 333,000 views. Let's Talk About My Diagnosis, 317,000 views. My Controversial Opinion, 197,000 views. Letting Go of Miranda, 429,000 views. And it goes on and on. Her views she was getting were between like 180 and like 400,000 views, okay? So the fact that she is now getting 32,000, 118,000, 81, that's from 2 days ago, 98, she's getting about a third to a half of the amount of views that she was getting before when she was filming vlogs on this channel. So, yes, she has returned, and she is making money off these videos. There's mid-roll ads and things like that. But she is continuing. I mean, I just looked the other day, I just looked on Social Blade, and just the other day, she had lost like another 10,000 subscribers. So that was like 3 days ago. So it's not like she lost them all at once and then they stopped. Like, she's progressively losing subscribers. I think people have been waiting to see if she's going to come out and say something or address something. I think what people are realizing is she's not going to come out and address something. She's not going to come out and do anything, right? Like, this is her plan. It's just, I'm back, I'm going to continue to vlog and throw my kids up in as many videos as I possibly can, and she's apparently a family vlog channel again. And so that's her plan. That's been her plan all along, and she's just going to act like nothing happened, and she's going to return. The problem is that at 40,000 subscribers a month, okay, and then a lot of inactive users that just are not even on YouTube anymore or watching her channel, like, how many subscribers does she really have out of, like, 3.2 million subscribers? And at 40,000 subscribers a month over the span of a year, right? Like, I mean, that's going to start, like, really eating at her subscribers to where she might eventually only have 400,000 or 500,000 subscribers, which is still a good amount, but you want to talk about a major hit to somebody. I mean, like, James Charles lost 3 million subscribers and gained it back like 3 days later, right? Like, she's not gaining these subscribers back. And she's not getting views. And in fact, her views are just getting worse every vlog she posts. Because I think that what she doesn't realize is, by her never coming out and addressing it, in any way, shape, or form whatsoever, right? Except for like at the very beginning of that fall vlog, and it was just so bad how she addressed that whole thing, that people were waiting to see if she would do it, right? And then when she didn't, it's not like they're going to return. I think that people are kind of like, I'm so done with Colleen at this point, and the fact that she isn't addressing it, and then every vlog she puts up is a reminder to them, right? Like, when I was watching these clips that I watched, I literally was just, like, sitting here, and I just kind of was, like, mesmerized. I was like, she truly doesn't get it. She either doesn't get it, or she is one of the nastiest human beings in the entire world. She, like, really does not care that she has affected people on such a deep level, right? And I'm watching it, and I'm just kind of like, I mean, and it's a video about, like, opening a Taylor Swift advent calendar, and I'm just like this. Like, I mean, I never in my life thought that I would be watching a video of somebody opening a Taylor Swift advent calendar, and I'm like this, in my head I'm thinking, like, she's so gone. Like, she is so gone, she doesn't get it, right? Like, all this woman cares about is fame, popularity, and being on the internet. Like, you need to take a break, girl. Like, seriously, you need to figure some things out. It's honestly kind of scary. And so I think what she doesn't get is that she thought she would return, and then eventually people would start coming back to her channel. And honestly, that's kind of what I thought would happen too. I honestly thought that she would come back and it would like take a dip and people would unsubscribe and whatever. I knew at first people would start watching her vlogs like in the first week to see if she was saying anything, right? But I didn't know what would happen after that. I honestly thought she'd start getting a slow build back up again, and people would start subscribing over to her again and start watching her videos. That's not happening. She's getting less and less views. And on her end, you have to remember, right? Like, the Colleen Ballinger fans, they're like, I'm so glad you're back. Thank you so much for this video, blah, 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 whatever, okay? Colleen Ballinger is a huge YouTuber. The fact that she's getting like 78,000 views on a vlog when she's sitting at 3.2 million subscribers is not good. It is not good at all, okay? Especially, she's doing Vlogmas. This is Vlogmas. I mean, and her Vlogmas videos do very well. This is not good for her, right? I mean, this is really, really taking a hit. And on her end, she can see it. She can see the actual amount of views. She can see, like, the subscribers going away, what that number is, and things like that. So, to the fans, they're probably like, oh, she's still pumping out videos, like, it's the same old, Colleen. I'm so glad that she's back, right? And she even talks, like, directly to some of the fans in some of her videos. And I'm like, this is interesting, okay? She's trying to speak, and she's done this before. She's done this in her apology videos. She's done this in her high videos. When she speaks directly to the people that support her and love her, right? It's like she's talking to that 78,000 people, And I have said this about a lot of people. You can go fact check this. I've talked about this with Shane Dawson. I've talked about this with Jeffree Star. I've talked about this with James Charles. A lot of people, right? Is that I believe with any audience, when you're looking at it, it's kind of split like 30-30-30, okay? And I don't know what happens to that rest of that 10%. But it's kind of 30-30-30, right? Like, you have that 30% that will never leave, okay? They will always stand by you no matter what. No matter if you completely changed your channel and we're doing something completely different or whatever, they're never going to leave your side, right? And then you have that 30% that is, like, out immediately, okay? That they have some integrity, they have some, morality, and when they look at things that are not right with what you've done, they're like, I'm out, okay? Now, the thing about that is, I think that what I've witnessed over time is, and I used to say that 30% was gone and gone for good. I'm not sure I believe that anymore. I think 10 to 15% of those people can be earned back over time, depending on what that person does, and depending, how they behave in the future. I think Shane Dawson is a good example of this. I think that Shane Dawson, when he first came back, he was constantly making jokes about being canceled and stuff. And I think people that were kind of like waiting for him to like take some accountability or change were kind of like, this is like, quit making jokes about it. You're obviously so bothered by it that you're not like learning or growing or anything from that, right? I think that Shane was smart enough to realize that that wasn't working to his favor. And so he stopped. And then the podcast started. And the podcast does very well, right? And then I think that, Ryland's vlogs was a very divisive move on their part, right? To humanize them as a couple and show them. I still think that Shane shows his immaturity in those videos, but I think a lot of Shane's audience enjoy that rapport and that back and forth. And what was smart about Shane was that the people that would say things to him, it wasn't just about what he got canceled about, right? Like, it was overall the critiques and the criticism that he was getting from people that were saying, you do this and you do that and whatever. Like, the majority of it, like, he still has 12-year-old humor, right? Like, I don't enjoy that, but a lot of people have no issue with that. But it wasn't just that these were the things that you were doing that got you canceled, right? It was overall the things that people were saying that they didn't like. I think that Shane Dawson was smart enough to take that all in and be like, okay, going forward, I'm going to have to change that if I want to earn some of these people back. And he did, and I think that he has tried and his best to stay out of drama and not repeat his behaviors from the past and things like that. And, you know, I'm obviously not a huge Shane Dawson fan. I think we know that, right? But I think it's important to give props where props are due. I don't witness Shane Dawson, and I don't watch his videos unless somebody sends them to me. But I haven't, it hasn't been brought to my attention that he's done anything highly problematic in a while. I think he's doing his thing. He's moving, you know, on with his life. You know, he and Rylan are having the twins and things like that, and the podcast is going very, very well. And I think he's just moving on with his life, you know? I said this years ago with, like, referring to, like, Manny and Laura and Toddy and stuff like that. Like, especially when Manny came out and he said that his social blade might be in the red, but his personal life was in the green. And what he was referencing was that social blade being, like, your numbers on YouTube. That his numbers weren't great anymore, but that his personal life had greatly improved. And what I said at that time was, you know, that all of these people, with the exception of James Charles, I don't understand. To me, it is like, did he make a deal with the devil? Because James Charles cannot, like, be hit whatsoever. Like, I just, it's unbelievable to me that he still has the following that he has, and that people take no issue with what he did. Like, it's unbelievable to me, right? I haven't even had a sip of this Diet Coke yet. Hold on a second. So, I said this years ago, like, with Tati and with, like, Laura and Manny and things like that, that I think that they just accepted the fact that they weren't going to get the views that they were getting, that they had gotten before. They weren't going to make the kind of money that they were making before, and that they were okay with that. That they had accepted at some point. And I think this was kind of what Manny was referring to. One of the last things that Manny said that I really liked, okay, was when he said something about his personal life being in the green. I think what he realized was, and this is where I really was holding out hope for Manny MUA, that life is so much more than just about views, clicks, and money, you know? And that it's really about the personal relationships that you have in your life, you know? My friend Tanya always says, you know, that as you get older, the road narrows. And it's true. Like, one of the things that you realize as you get older is that the things that you thought that were important to you when you were 25 are not the things that you think are important to you at 45 or 50. They just aren't, you know? Sure, we still like nice things. We still like to travel and, you know, have a home and things like that. Like, all that's still important. But you're much more grateful once you've gone through more life experiences for the things that you do have. And really, those things are the relationships that you have with people. Those are priceless, right? You know, like, the other day I said this about, and a couple people were like, wow, I had never really thought of it this way. I was saying about Jeffree Star, like, in all honesty, like, how sad, I'm, like, real introspective tonight, I don't know why, but I was, like, saying, like, how sad it was to me that this man has more money than God, right? And that, not that part is sad, but the fact that he's, like, literally sitting in a room in his house, okay, in Wyoming, that is beautiful. Casper, Wyoming is beautiful, right? He's got the mountains, he's got these animals, he's on this ranch, and he's sitting in a room, in a robe, screaming and yelling at TikTokers to battle him. And I'm like, this is sad to me. Like, you have more money than most people will ever have in this entire world, right? And you could travel the world. You could have any experience you want to have. You could spend it with anybody. You could take anybody in your life, right, that you consider a close friend, that you trust, you know, implicitly, and take them and say, you're never going to work another day. You're going to come live with me, or you're going to come travel with me. We're going to be companions together, or whatever, right? But it's always this smoke and mirrors of, you know, I'm dating this NBA player, or this rapper's hitting me up, or this NFL player. It's so, like, it's so sad and desperate and pathetic. And I think the saddest part to me is that that's how you want to spend your time. That's how you want to spend your life, right? You know, and it just breaks my heart, you know? I don't know, I just, like, it doesn't break my heart for Jeffree Star, because Jeffree Star can do whatever the hell he wants. It breaks my heart for people that are out there working 2 to 3 jobs and will never have the kind of money, or even, like, 1/10 of the money that Jeffree Star has, and would do anything just to take a family vacation, to Gatlinburg, Tennessee for 3 days, and stay in a cabin. Jeffree Star could buy cabins in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. He could build $1 million cabin in Gatlinburg, Tennessee and never leave, right? And he would prefer to sit in a room and battle somebody in a TikTok thing. Like, his priorities are completely skewed, right? And so when I was, back in the day, when I was watching this whole thing with Manny unfold, and he came out and said that, I was like, okay, I think he gets it. Like, this is one of the reasons why I held out so long for Manny and MUA, was that I really thought he got it. I really thought that he understood that life is so much more, than, it's like the end of the movie Fargo. I love that movie so much, when she's sitting in the car, Frances McDormand, who is probably currently my favorite actress of life, and she's sitting in that car at the end, and she shakes her head, with that guy that's put a hit out on his wife and all this kind of stuff for the insurance money, and she shakes her head and she goes, all this for money. It's like, what lengths will you go to? What relationships will you destroy? What integrity are you willing to sell for money? Like, that's what's money and fame. Like, that's what's most important to you. It's a really sad sentiment, Some of the richest people that I have known in my life are the people that have the least amount of money, My past sponsor, who passed away about a year ago, was one of the richest men that I have ever known in my entire life. Not financially, not whatsoever, right? But one of the richest people that I've ever known. And just surrounded by love. He was like 75 when he passed away. I have never been to a funeral like somebody like his. It was just packed, okay, with love. People wanted to get up there and speak. People could not wait to share their stories about him. It was unbelievable. And everybody there, was just talking about how much they loved him and things like that. This is a man who, because of having like horrific arthritis, couldn't drive, and people literally picked him up every day and took him home, People couldn't wait to see him, And when his car died, people in recovery bought him a car. He was so rich in love and experience with people. And, and just like, I can remember my friend Tanya, because Tanya and he were really, really close. Like, we would invite him on trips and stuff like that, like day trips. He gets so excited just to go on a day trip somewhere, And here you have people like Jeffree Star sitting in a room yelling and screaming at people, okay, on TikTok battles that could go anywhere in the world. You've got Manny and Laura protecting predators, and you've got Colleen Ballinger, using her kids to make money. And that's the point that I wanted to get to. So I'm watching these videos, right? And I'm thinking about like Shane Dawson. Like, I think Shane Dawson has tried to change. To be honest with you, I really, really hope that Shane Dawson and Rylan do not turn their channel into a family vlogging channel. I really hope they don't. One of the topics that I have really never touched on my channel, and I'm really thinking about starting to talk about it more, is family vlogging channels. I do not watch them, okay? I take huge issue with people that use their kids for views and clicks. I think it's one thing to like show your kid every once in a while, or if you're filming and they like run through the background, that's one thing, right? But when you're doing a 12-minute video and 8 minutes of it are of your kids, and you're on the floor doing advent calendars like Colleen Ballinger with your kids and things like that, like, you're a family vlogging channel. There are laws being passed on this right now. Like, I think Illinois just passed this law that if you have your kids in videos, like, you have to put money aside for them when they turn 18. Like, you are not allowed to just pocket that money, right? And I think that that law is going to soon be passed in California as well. So that it'll be interesting to see if these family vlogging channels that are making mass amounts of money over being families and having kids, and they're using their kids for views and clicks. To be honest with you, I went in and I watched, I just like skimmed through, and I kept on kind of like going like this with Colleen's video. I could not believe how much of her video had her kids in it. I just was completely, from the beginning to the end. It was very surprising to me. So I start getting all these messages from people being very upset that she's saying that Taylor Swift copied her. Well, she's not really saying that. She jokes in the video, okay? And she shows her, what she says is that years ago when she was on tour that she used to sell friendship bracelets and that people used to send them to her and things like that. I can't see how much time I have left. I think I have like a minute left. And that people used to send them to her. My battery dies at 30 minutes. I know this from vlogging. By the way, I filmed an hour and 25 or 45 minute vlog. I think 25 minutes today, and then on Saturday it was like an hour and 45 minute vlog. I'm sitting out here. But today we took a little bit of a walk, so that was fun. A little field trip over on Peter's Vlogs. So anyway, so she's talking about how people used to send her friendship bracelets on when she would, like, her tour, and then she would sell them on tour and things like that. I mean, obviously, anything to make a buck, right? So, I'm, like, watching this, and she's, like, she jokes and says, well, like, obviously, like, Taylor didn't steal the idea from me, but let me go in and explain to you what I used to do when I was on tour, right? And I'm watching this, and I'm like, girl, do you think you came up with the idea of friendship bracelets? You ever been to a rave, girl? You ever done this thing at a rave? Y'all know what I'm talking about with music festivals and raves. The camera stopped just during my demonstration. Y'all ever been to a rave or a music festival when people got all the friendship bracelets on and they go like this? And they go, peace, love, unity, respect. You know that one, Fleur? Okay, girl, that's been going around since I was 18 before. I don't even know how old she would have been at that point, okay? Friendship bracelets are not a new thing. Friendship bracelets were a thing when I was, like, okay, when I was, like, in first grade, and I was born in 72, so you're talking 80, okay? So 1980 friendship bracelets were coming around, okay? Girl, you did not come up with friendship bracelets. And I know you didn't say that in the video, but you basically insinuated that it was this thing of yours on tour and that nobody else had done friendship bracelets before. Girl, I've been going to music festivals longer than you were on tour, okay? And people were doing that long before you were ever on tour. That was not a Miranda Sings kind of thing, okay? But the thing that was interesting to me when I saw that she didn't just do one video about Taylor Swift, but she had done 2 videos about it, was that I remembered that TikTok that I had covered about that PR person. Do you remember that PR person that I covered? That she was like an expert in the PR field. And she talked about why Colleen Ballinger posted her fall vlog when she did, okay? And one of the things that she said was that she believed that she had it filmed and ready to go at a moment's notice so that whenever her PR team called her and said, okay, post it now, right, that she could post it. And one of the reasons was because she posted it after all the journalists had gone home for the weekend so that it wouldn't get any attention in like major news sources and things like that until Monday, okay? Because she posted it, I think, late on Friday. So by Saturday and Sunday, they wouldn't be covering it. That was the first thing she said. Adam McIntyre suggested that he was going to be out at a club and that he was out that night and would have been late. When she posted it and where he lived, it would have been late, right? So that was another reason. But this PR agent, the one thing she focused on was that that was the weekend that Taylor Swift was having a lot of issues at her concert in Brazil. That a fan had passed away and that there was another person that was trying to attack Taylor Swift. And that was all going on that weekend. And so when that came out, and that was huge news, I mean, it was literally all over Twitter and Instagram. Like every post was on Twitter was about that, right? And so what this PR person was saying was that Colleen Ballinger, I almost called her Miranda, Colleen Ballinger's PR people probably called her and said, hey, this whole thing is going on with Taylor Swift, post the video now. And that's why she posted it at kind of a weird time, because that's when that was all going on. It wasn't like it was planned to come out at that time. It was just, she just posted it randomly, and that was in the middle of all that Taylor Swift stuff going on. The reason why I'm bringing this up is it's interesting to me that she then goes and does the Taylor Swift Advent calendar, okay, which I looked. It's an expensive calendar. It's hard to get, number one. Because I do Advent calendars on my Peter Does Stuff channel, my review channel. Number 2, she's done 2 Taylor Swift videos now. One about friendship bracelets, one about that. So she is using Taylor Swift for clicks and views. And so she is aware that Taylor Swift is getting a lot of attention right now and a lot of clicks and views, okay? 1, over dating Travis Kelce, and I think she just moved into his house, number 1. Number 2, over the situation that happened in Brazil, okay? Colleen Ballinger is aware of this. Colleen Ballinger is somebody that for years and years and years has built her career on having her finger on the pulse of trends, right? So does it surprise me that she's using Taylor Swift's name in 2 of her videos? I mean, it was like one video, Taylor Swift, another video, and then Taylor Swift. So it's 2 videos out of 3 that she's called Taylor Swift's name, put her name in the title, right? Not to mention that at Christmas time and Taylor Swift and friendship bracelets and all this kind of stuff is going to get a lot of views. She thinks, right? So basically what Colleen Ballinger is telling us is she doesn't think that she can get the views on her own channel anymore. So she's got to hype it up and put in Taylor Swift's name and talk about these friendship bracelets. It's almost to me, and I hadn't watched, you know, any of her vlogs in like the last week and a half since I said I wasn't going to watch anymore. And I watched the majority of this Taylor Swift friendship bracelet one because I wanted to make sure that I knew what I was talking about because people had brought it to me, right? And so it opens up, literally it's a 12-minute video and like 7 minutes of it are her kids jumping around, okay? Now I had just watched, I'm catching up with 1,000 Pound Sisters, I'm almost done. And I was just sitting watching 1,000 Pound Sisters earlier tonight, and my husband was trying to work on the computer right next to me, and it was that part where Amy is at, her brother Chris has like a barbecue, and they're like riding horses and stuff, and Gage will not stop crying, and the kids are crying and stuff like that, and Amy's like losing her mind thinking she's a bad mom. Okay, what do people find enjoyable about family vlogging channels? I'm confused about this, okay? I don't want to... Like, I don't even like to go to restaurants. Like, people all the time are like, blah, 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 blah. No, we chose not to have kids, okay? There's a lot of people that choose not to have kids. Does it, you know, it doesn't mean that you'd be a bad parent. It just means that you choose not to have kids, right? I don't even love to go to restaurants, and this is just my personal opinion, okay? I know that there are kids that have issues out there. I know that there are kids that have a lot of problems. Hey, listen, I respect that. I grant that, okay? There's also then, like, being at a nice restaurant and having 10 kids running all over the place. Okay, I don't love listening to kids scream and yell and cry and things like that, okay? I don't love it. And I can remember, like, Alex and I talk about this a lot, like, with our parents. Like, when I was at a restaurant, if I'd start acting up, my dad would look at me and be like, we're gonna leave. I mean, this is when I was a little kid, and he'd be like, I'm gonna leave. And I always get, whenever I say this, I always get messages from people that are like, well, I have a child with Asperger's. Okay, I'm not saying that. I totally understand that, okay? I'm talking about, like, why are people watching videos of kids screaming and yelling in the background running around? That is not enjoyable to me. I mean, I literally having to watch this vlog with our kids running around the background and all this kind of stuff, I was like, there's nothing enjoyable about this to me. That's my perspective of a public figure's video. I can say that, okay? Before people want to come over here and be like, you're shaming Colleen Ballinger. No, I don't understand it. I don't understand people's interest in wanting to watch that, okay? Number one. Number two, Colleen Ballinger, long before, well, after the first initial Adam McIntyre video from years ago came out, between then and now, the most recent allegations that have come out earlier this summer, Colleen Ballinger has been highly criticized for using her kids for clicks and views. Highly criticized, okay? Highly, highly criticized. I can remember when all this stuff came out, and I was like looking up Colleen Ballinger and looking up things, and there were like tons of people that were saying, Colleen Ballinger uses her kids for clicks and views, Colleen Ballinger this, Colleen Ballinger that. I mean, it was all about her kids and her videos, right? So I gotta watch this video, and I'm like, there is a part in the video, like, this is where you can tell that Colleen Ballinger has not changed, okay? There is a part in the video where she, like, looks at the camera and, like, there's some kid around and she puts something, did y'all see this scene? She put something in the, like, text in a thing, and it's like, I'm like, girl, that is so inappropriate. Like, that is so inappropriate. Like, you literally have no read at all on what people are saying to you or whatever, okay? Like, had none of these allegations come out and none of this kind of stuff, then maybe, okay? Like, I totally kind of understand that. Like, she puts in there, like, the kid's looking at her and it says WTF. And I'm like, girl, seriously? Like, you think that's appropriate? Like, maybe if none of these allegations came out, if nobody was accusing you of using your kids for family videos and stuff like that, that might be funny, okay? But, like, your read on this is, girl, where are you in reality, okay? That you have been literally criticized for inappropriate relationships with minors, and you have in your video, I mean, I'm, like, baffled by this. I'm, like, looking at this, and I'm, like, that's when I started just, like, skimming through it. And it's kids jumping around, kids going through advent calendars, kids doing this, kids pulling her hair, I was like, who's watching this? Who is watching this, okay? Because this is the thing. If you have kids, I have friends of mine that have kids, okay? I have friends of mine that love their kids, but call me and be like, I cannot wait till they go to bed, okay? Or in the summer, or like, I cannot wait till school starts again, okay? Because they're driving me crazy. Okay, I have friends of mine that have been using Santa Claus since July. Okay, I did a whole rant video about that. Okay, Mama's gonna call Santa Claus. I mean, I have had friends of mine that have been doing that since July. Okay, that are good parents that love their kids. I can tell you right now, there is no way in hell, I don't care how much they loved that woman, Colleen Ballinger, they would not be watching a video of a bunch of kids screaming and yelling and jumping around in the background, okay? Who's watching these videos? Like, you would have to really love Colleen Ballinger, because that video, to me, was annoying. I wouldn't want to watch it, okay? Not to mention, I'm watching it, and I'm like, mind blown, that this, I feel like I'm like Amy Slayton now. Oh, poor Amy Slayton, 1,000-pound sister. She can't pronounce a word to save her life, can she? I love her so much. But anyway, I mean, I don't love Amy Slayton so much, but I mean, I love watching the show. Anyway, gotta clarify that before people are like, you love Amy Slayton, she's so problematic, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But anyway, I'm like mind blown watching this, right? Like, okay. And I know when I say this, people are gonna be like, I love family video. You do? You love family vlogging channels that take advantage of their kids, that cannot give consent on whether or not they're being filmed and have money made off of them. You love that? You think that's okay? I don't think that's okay. At all. You know? At all. I mean, this is like not a far cry from me, from like momagers of child stars, or kids that, you know, like all this kind of stuff like back in the day when, like, I don't know, it just, to me, it's like, when 90% of your content is about your kids, you might as well just call it Colleen's Kids. You might as well not call it Colleen's Vlogs, because it's not about Colleen. Okay? So I watch this video. Then she does this video, the one before it, and I thought, is she clickbaiting every title? Like, people say I clickbait titles, right? Because I'll say something like, this is really serious. Okay, I understand that. I think people by now know, if you see this is really serious in the title of my video, it's a joke, right? That's why I do it so much, because it's a joke. I haven't done it in a while. But, like, I'll say something like, James Charles did it again, right? And it'll be something like, another allegation came out. And people will be like, you clickbaited this title. I did? Did I really? Okay. Or is Taylor Swift copied me a clickbait title when Taylor Swift did not copy her, okay? Or how about this title? The Last Miranda Shows, okay? So you go in there and you think, and she's got this real serious thumbnail, right? And you go in there and I'm thinking, what do you think when you hear that title? I thought, okay, here, I'll let you think about it for a second. The Last Miranda Shows. And she's sitting here like this in the thumbnail, like looking real serious thinking, okay? What do you think the video is going to be about? I'm thinking, if I didn't know Colleen Ballinger, the video is going to be about the fact that she's canceling Miranda and she's not going to ever go on tour again, okay? But I know Colleen Ballinger better than this. I know that this is a clickbait title because she's trying to get views, okay? Which, that video gets her more views than the other videos have been getting her. So it worked for her by about 30,000 views, okay? That tells you how little people even care about Miranda Sings anymore. People are done with Colleen Ballinger. She's over. Okay? I mean, like, this is not getting better for her. This is getting worse. So I go in and I watch this video. Of course, the first half of it is all kids bouncing around the house again. Okay? Like, who's watching this? I mean, listen, that is not... I mean, I watch reality TV to calm me down, okay? I like the screaming and the yelling of the housewives and stuff like that, but I'm telling you right now, okay, I don't want to be watching no videos of a bunch of kids running around no house, okay? Like, that is... I don't know why... Like, I'm thinking the only people that would love to watch this are people that are parents, but then parents have to deal with their own kids. So why are you... What's going on here? I'm confused. Okay, who's watching these videos of these kids being rambunctious, running around this house, banging on drums, and all this kind of stuff? Okay, so I start watching this video, and remember, Colleen Ballinger has been highly criticized, okay, for using her kid. This is where she is either saying a huge F you to people out there that have criticized her, and she's like, I'm not going to listen to anything that they have said, okay, which I think this is really important to her audience that still remains, okay? Because when you criticize Colleen down the road for something that she did that you didn't like, okay? Whether you're standing by her side now or not, she's gonna say F you to you next, okay? Because people have been fans of Colleen's for years, and they have said to her, like, hey, like, you're using your kids for views and clicks, blah, 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 whatever, right? Which you couldn't even say 2 years ago. People would come for you if you said that about anybody, right? And so, this almost is like kind of like an F you. She knows people have criticized her for that, okay? A lot of people have talked about that for years. Long before all the scandals and stuff were, came out this summer. And so, in the middle of this video, she's talking about she found this wand, okay? And that she remembered this magic wand was like this, her son wanted to do this video, and he wanted her to edit it to make it magic, like him doing magic. And she shows the video in the vlog. I'm like, you show a dedicated video of your son, a personal video, okay, that she says he watched all the time. Like, you show this personal video that was between you and... You don't have to show everything, Colleen, okay? I know people think I share everything on my vlog, but that's not true. I have really dear friends of mine that I have never mentioned in my vlog, okay? I got stuff going on in my life that people have no clue about, all right? I have things I go through on a daily basis that people have no clue about. I don't share everything on my vlogs, trust, okay, at all. I share enough. I share things that I want people to be able to relate to, you know, and stuff like that. But you shared a personal moment of your son with a video that he used to watch. I mean, I was just sitting there watching it, and I thought to myself, I was thinking of, like, things with, like, my mom, you know, and things that, like, my mom would say, like, I don't know, it just seemed like such a personal moment to me, you know, and I'm like, you're literally using your kids for views. So then at the halfway mark, it's always the first half of the video, the vlog is all her kids, right? And then it switches out because they go to bed. So she goes in and she starts talking about this Miranda show. But then the Miranda show she's talking about is about her son being with her at this Miranda show. I'm like, girl, your entire videos are all about your kids anymore, okay? Like, first of all, I think most people would probably tell you that's probably a topic that you wanted to steer away from at least for a good month, okay? But you just sped right back into it. It was interesting because when she came out with her first video, fall vlogs, people are like, I wonder how long it'll be before she has her kids back in all her videos again and using them for views, right? And people are like, oh, she won't do that. She won't ever have her kids in her vlogs again. I mean, it's literally every video. It's like, I mean, it's half, if not more, of all her videos, right? I think the law that passed in Illinois is like a certain percentage of your videos or a certain percentage of your content, then you have to save money. I'm almost watching it and I'm like, because it's almost like it cuts off at a certain point. Like she has the kids in there so much and then it cuts off. I'm almost wondering if she's being so divisive that she knows exactly when to stop. Like the amount of the minutes that the kids are in the video, the percentage of that. I almost wonder if she's not editing it to the point where she knows exactly how much that she can have the kids in the videos before she has to put money aside for them. Because I do think that that law is going to get passed because they're talking about it left and right. Like family vlogging channels and family channels are going to get hit like crazy. And that's going to be 2024. I'm just telling you right now. 2024 is going to be the year that all the family channels come down. It's the truth, right? They've been so highly criticized for so long. And so it's almost, to me, it's like weird when, I mean, I just watched 2 of her videos, but both videos were exactly the same. Like right at the halfway mark or the 40% mark, something like that. It's like the kids are not in the videos anymore. So it's like, I'm wondering if she knows that she can have them. I don't know what the law is, but if she knows she can have them in there for a certain amount of time and then she can't anymore. So I'm going in there because I want to see what she has to say about this Miranda Sings show, right? And I'm thinking she's going to say, you know, well, I'm done with the Miranda shows, or I'm hanging up Miranda, because people are like, well, hopefully she'll hang up the character of Miranda Sings. No, I think it's just a matter of time before she brings her back. And she'll do it in some weird capacity. She'll do it in some kind of way, which I have to tell you what I thought was funny. Not even, I mean, it wasn't funny. I thought it was funny for her that she did it, but I thought it was interesting and weird, right? Is that when she's opening the Taylor Swift advent calendar, this is when she does a little text thing, okay, that's inappropriate. She does this voice and this look. She goes into Miranda in front of her child. And I'm like, people are going to clock that, Colleen. People are going to clock that you go in and out of Miranda around your kids. And you weren't appropriate as Miranda with other people's kids. So people are going to clock that, okay? That you're a family channel that have been criticized for having inappropriate conversations with minors, and now you're switching in and out of Miranda in front of your own kids. Like, people are going to take, do you not realize that people are going to take issue with, go watch the part with the advent calendar, okay? This is the one and only time I'll ever tell you to watch a Colleen Ballinger video. Go watch that part with the advent calendar. You can see it's when she shakes her hair at the very end, right before the words go up, and she switches into Colleen for a second. And it reminded me of the Jimmy Kimmel interview when she said, like, Miranda sings, says, and does the things that Colleen Ballinger can't. Do you guys remember when she said that? And I'm like, this is weird to me, okay? You're almost like, it's like 2 sides of the coin, okay? Like, can you not, like, Could the real Colleen stand up? Is there a real Colleen? Or is Miranda really just another part of Colleen? I think that's the truth. Like, who's really there? Is it Colleen or is it really Miranda, right? Or is Miranda the inappropriate part of Colleen Ballinger that can't come out because you're so inappropriate all the time that you have to put... I mean, you guys, when you watch her, it's like back in the day when Shane first came back, and I would say that Shane didn't have an edit button. Shane still doesn't have an edit button, but it's better now than it was then. I mean, like, I sit there and I watch these vlogs, and I'm like, okay, she has a better edit button on her computer than she does in Shane Dawson, because Shane Dawson will watch stuff, and he wouldn't know to edit it out. You can tell Colleen Ballinger says stuff, and then she cuts it off, right? I'm watching this and I'm like, she doesn't even realize that some of the things that she's saying are borderline inappropriate. Like, this is where she's not in therapy. I don't believe that she's in therapy. I don't believe that she's doing any work on herself. I think, first of all, she doesn't think that she did anything wrong, so why would she be in therapy? Because she didn't do anything wrong, okay? She talks about therapists and professionals. Okay, I can explain to you that years ago, my husband and I started with a marriage counselor, and I was seeing him individually, and so was my husband, and we saw him for 2 to 3 years, and then he retired and resigned at the ripe age of 37 because he got his dream job of starting his own construction company flipping houses, okay? Then we went a while without having a therapist, and we found our new therapist that we have today, and we love dearly, right? And I see him individually, Alex sees him individually, and we see him as a couple. I can explain to you why I can say the word therapist. Can she? Okay, I don't have any problem sharing that. I think it's normalizing to share with people the fact that everybody can go to therapy. There's no shame in that, right? But when she talks about therapists, professionals, why is she seeing multiple people? Or is she seeing somebody going to somebody? Is she flipping through people until she hears the person that tells her something right? I don't believe she's going to a therapist. I just don't believe she is. I think she may have gone to a therapist or two to get evaluated for something, so if she ever had to go to court, like, they would have that on paper that she went to a therapist originally and saw somebody, but I don't believe that she's actively seeing a therapist. I just don't. The other thing is, if you watch her vlogs, she talks in her vlogs about, like, taking this kid to a doctor's appointment, doing this, having to run here. She never mentions therapy sessions. She never mentioned, I mean, where's the work on Colleen that Colleen's doing? I think we could all agree, right, that no matter what all of this happened, right, that maybe Colleen needs to do a little work, okay? Instead of coloring books and rocks and chickens and Taylor Swift advent calendars, that maybe she needs to do a little work on herself. Could you show that in a vlog? Could you show yourself journaling? Or, I don't know, I threw up a meditation book because I just happened to be reading it tonight. I mean, people that watch my Peterisms videos know that I read this all the time. Amy Dean, Nightlights. Can't see, don't have my reading glasses on. Amy Dean, Nightlights, okay? I mean, I can tell you what today's meditation was because I just read it in here, you know? I mean, could you show us a little bit of that work to show us at all that you've changed as a person? You can't, because you're not a changed person. And this is demonstration, right? So she goes in this Miranda Sings thing, and she talks about this one show that she was at. She had all this anxiety and all this kind of stuff. She goes this whole thing. I'm not going to get into all that. I stopped watching it at the part where she started talking about... Anyway, I was like, so you clickbaited this whole video of getting people to think that you were going to address the last Miranda Sings shows because you thought you were going to get 500,000 to a million views off this video talking about the last Miranda Sings shows, okay? But everybody knows that you clickbait the hell out of it. You're not really willing to address anything, and you've lost everybody, okay? That video alone, where people, I mean, you look at the thumbnail, she's like this. She looks real depressed in it. The last Miranda shows, okay? Either she's addressing what happened with the last Miranda shows, or she's going to address what's going forward with the last Miranda shows. But everybody knows she's not going to do that. Everybody knows she's a fraud, okay? So it's sitting at 118,000 views after 2 days. She's done. Colleen Ballinger's done, and Colleen Ballinger knows it. She got 100,000 people sticking around, okay? She's probably not even got that. She's probably got 50 to 80,000 people sticking around, and the rest of them are just watching closely to see if she's going to say something different. Because that's what I was saying with the 30-30-30, right? Like, I think like 10 to 15% of that 30 that leaves and goes away. I used to think that you lose them forever, right? But I think that now, you might be able to earn some of those people back if you show genuine, authentic change, you know? And then I think 30% sit on the fence, and they wait to see what you're doing, right? That's the 40,000 that are leaving every month, because they're sitting on the fence and they're not seeing that she's changing. I think that this is really important to note, okay? I'm not talking about this from the point of view of what I think that Colleen Ballinger should have done, okay? I think we all know by now what I think that Colleen Ballinger should have done, okay? And stayed gone and really worked on herself, okay? And apologized appropriately and taken accountability to the victims to relieve them of the pain that they've gone through. She doesn't have the ability to do that, privately or publicly, okay? So you're talking about a almost 40-year-old woman that is willing to allow much younger people than her to suffer and continue to suffer at the pain that she put them through with her own hand, okay? And she has no issue with that whatsoever. She is more concerned with her money and her coin, or she sees that she did nothing wrong, okay? When there's actual factual evidence out there of what the woman did. What's interesting to me, okay, is that for that 30%, I'm talking about this from a career PR point of view, okay? From that 30% that is sitting on the fence, and the 30% that left, okay, and the 10 to 15% that might have come back. Like I said this with Shane Dawson, okay? And I said if Shane Dawson would address the things that happened from his past and talk about the humor from 10 years ago and what his career was like and what his career is like now and how he's changed over time, like people would buy into that, okay? People want to see change and growth. People love a comeback story, okay? From a PR point of view, all right? From a PR point of view. I'm not talking about... PR people think that they are so smart because they want to protect these people, okay? In 2023, people want to see real-ass people. They want to see authenticity, and they want to see genuine behavior from people, okay? They don't want bullshit. I think we've been through so much bullshit in our lives at this point that people want real, and real knows real, okay? All these PR people are like, oh, come out and do that, blah, 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 whatever, okay? I'm not talking about what I think Colleen Ballinger should do as a human being. If Colleen Ballinger was sitting in front of me, I'd be like, Colleen, this is what you need to do, okay? First of all, and y'all know what I think about that because I've talked about it in previous videos. But from a PR point of view to save her career, what she should have done was she should have come out and she should have publicly and privately, in the minimum, apologized to these victims. Well, she can't do that because she'll go to jail. Yes, she could have, okay? She could have come out and said to Adam, to all these people that have had issues with me, I'm sorry. Sorry for what? She's not going to go to court because she says I'm sorry, okay? She's not taking accountability for anything except to say I'm sorry. Publicly, she would do it, right? Send them private messages and say, I'm sorry. They would shut up talking about it. That's what they want. That's what Adam wanted, right? Explain in a video, I've been in therapy. I've done a lot of work. But she hasn't, so she can't say that, right? I've really looked at this. She wouldn't even have to be specific about what she had did or done, right? To just show some kind of growth to people. Okay? So this is the reality. Colleen Ballinger has not changed. Because she can't show that. She can't even get in a video and fake it, okay? She doesn't even have the ability to do that. And even if she had the ability to do that, she is so ego-driven that she is unwilling to do that, okay? And that is the most important part. She is more concerned with throwing up her kids in videos for views and clickbaiting a title on Miranda Sings, a tour that actually caused people traumatic experiences, and victimize herself talking about anxiety that she went through on tour. Girl, what about the anxiety that you caused people on that tour, okay? You want to take some responsibility for that before you want to cry a river about what you went through about being on tour? How about that, girl, okay? So Colleen Ballinger hasn't changed. And this is not going to fare well for Colleen Ballinger. Because what's going to happen is, over the next 3 to 6 months... And this is where the victims truly will win, okay? And I'm thankful for this. And I said I was going to make a video every month, okay? So here's my December Colleen Ballinger video. Here you go, girl, okay? And I'm going to keep on making them. This probably won't be my last one this month because I'm sure you'll do something more to F up, okay? But here's where the victims will win. Because they will never get an apology from Colleen Ballinger. They will never get an accountability from Colleen Ballinger. She will never do that. The woman is so full of ego that she has no ability to do that, okay? I'd say ego and pride, but I think pride has a positive connotation, and I don't think she has any of that. She has no integrity, and she is full of ego, okay? That's a dangerous combination. So they're never going to get an apology from her. But what's going to happen is, over the next 3 to 6 months, her channel is going to slowly die. And she's going to realize that, and she's going to start pulling out stops, and she's going to start doing stuff to pump up those views and get a lot of attention, and she's going to screw up again, okay? Because she has built a career on doing inappropriate things to build her career, all right? Go back and look at her past videos with Miranda Sings. So she's not going to be okay with getting 78,000 views or 48,000 views and things like that, or 32,000 views. So she's going to do something again to hype it up. And when she does, that will be the nail in the coffin of her career. It'll be over. And the victims will sit back and they'll be like, well, she got what she deserved. This is what you got, you know? So Colleen could have done the right thing. She could have worked on herself. You know? She could have given those victims grace so that they could move on with their lives. I think what they're slowly realizing is, and this is a powerful lesson to learn at 19, 20, and 21, and wow, what strength those kids have, right? But what I think they're really learning is that grace comes from within, you know? I really wish that she would have been able to be the human being that could give that to them. But the fact that they're finding it in themselves and they are growing and becoming stronger is super, super powerful. And testament to other people out there that have gone through similar things, you know? In the end, they're ultimately the role models. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.